Hello, and thank you for joining us for this virtual tour of Watershed, a 7-story, 72,000 gross square foot commercial office building located in the Fremont neighborhood of Seattle, Washington. Weber Thompson is the architect and landscape architect for Watershed. This multidisciplinary firm is based in Seattle. The firm's diverse team of architects, landscape architects, and interior designers are adept at providing market-based design solutions. The firm's work includes high-rises, hospitality, mixed-use, multifamily, affordable housing communities, and offices. Watershed is just one of the firm's numerous deep green boutique commercial buildings. The Weber Thompson project team was led by senior partner Kristen Scott, the principal in charge of the project. The project is located in the Fremont neighborhood of Seattle, also known as the self-proclaimed center of the universe. It's a quirky mix of counterculture, art, tech companies, and weekend markets. Watershed sits near the center of this neighborhood, where Troll Avenue meets North 34th Street, just blocks below the infamous Troll statue, and directly along the Fremont Summer Solstice Parade route. The Burke-Gilman Trail is also nearby, a popular commute and recreation trail. Overhead is the George Washington Memorial Bridge, also known as the Aurora Avenue Bridge, responsible for millions of gallons of toxic runoff each year. We took drastic measures to help clean this water. The Watershed project was preceded by the Data One building, located just across Troll Avenue from Watershed. We were well underway on the design and construction of that project when our client, Center of the Universe LLC, also known as COU, approached us about designing another similar building across the street. From these conversations and the work completed at Data One, Watershed was born. This 7-story commercial building contains 14 parking stalls and secure bicycle storage for 100 bikes. It has 5,000 square feet of retail at grade, an open-air primary entry lobby, and a second door on Troll Avenue. The team was comprised of many Northwest-based companies. Collaboration and communication were essential throughout the project. We began our design for Watershed by establishing high-level goals for the project. First, we wanted to create a welcoming gateway to the Fremont Troll, one of Seattle's iconic attractions. We also wanted to continue the vibrant street front between Fremont and Stoneway. Additionally, we sought to create a deep green project by participating in the Seattle Living Building Pilot Program and to demonstrate achievable, high-quality, high-performance design and sensitivity to context. We also wanted to capture rainwater on site and create a tangible narrative of the local water cycle and role water plays in the environment and community. Participation in the Living Building Pilot Program has many requirements. Watershed was the third project to pursue the program, preceded by the Bullitt Center and Stone 34. Watershed pursued the place, materials, and beauty petals of the Living Building Challenge. Now let's officially begin the tour. We're standing to the southwest of Watershed in this pre-completion rendering. A few things to note. The large overhanging sloped roof captures rainwater for toilet flushing and landscape irrigation. The glassy box at the top of the structure is comprised of electrochromic glass. Project is a construction-type 3B podium building with 5 levels of exposed structural steel over 2 levels of type 1A cast-in-place PT concrete, fire-sprinkled throughout. The materials at the base include an ultra-high-performance concrete panel product and board-formed concrete walls. The nearly 13,000 square foot site is located on a corner. The building footprint is 11,000 square feet, and the landscape contains nearly 3,500 square feet of planted area. You'll notice the circular columns on the west edge of the site. These support the overhead Aurora Bridge with public right-of-way beneath. The building main entrance is located at the southeast corner, but a second building entry is accessible along the west facade, providing direct access to level 2. let's look back up again at the roof. As a design element, the roof is celebrated with a cantilevered front edge, clad in stained cedar, uplit and visible from street level. It captures upwards of 200,000 gallons of rainwater for reuse in the building annually. An exposed sculptural gutter system funnels this water to an oversized steel scupper and then into a 20,000-gallon concrete cistern for non-potable uses in the building. During a rain event, this public art piece highlights water capture, adding to the sense of discovery surrounding the building's operation and demonstrating rainwater capture and reuse. This project educates visitors about how a living building can truly be a regenerative force to stressed natural systems. Signage in the landscape provides education about the building's rainwater and stormwater systems of collection, filtration, evaporation, and conservation, which work together to achieve a 75% reduction of water use. Here, we've walked to the south side of the building and are approaching the building's main entrance. On the right, you can see the board-formed concrete wall featuring a vertical pattern of rough-sawn cedar and decorative cedar cladding straight ahead. This wood texture provides a subtle biophilic element. The main entrance is marked by a 16-foot-tall weathering steel hangar door, which features a laser-cut celestial design harkening back to Fremont's Center of the Universe claim. Open continuously during business hours, this hangar door folds up to become a canopy element signifying the building entry. Building visitors enter through this open-air lobby and notice the patterns of light and shadow. They'll see the feature stair before they find the elevator, which encourages a reduction in elevator trips. Across from the stair is a quote from Benjamin Franklin providing inspiration and contemplation. "When the well's dry, we know the worth of water." At the stair light well, visitors can look up to see that the building opens to the sky. This experiential moment allows rainfall to be part of the visual, acoustic, and tactile entry experience and is connected to the building's core theme of water. As part of the LBC Materials Pedal, projects must feature at least one salvaged material per 500 square meters of gross building area. For Watershed, this meant the salvage and reuse of 14 materials. Here, we see rough-sawn FSC certified cedar boards. These were used to create the board-formed concrete entry wall and were then carefully stripped and saved as decorative elements. The structural team was able to use the existing building's foundation walls as temporary shoring for the new structure. While the depth of excavation prevented this from serving as the permanent basement wall, we were able to eliminate roughly 100 tons of concrete waste with this design choice, but it required careful coordination. Returning to the entry court, visitors and occupants will find a digital dashboard display. This shows real-time metrics regarding energy use, water use, and associated costs. In addition, visitors can find pedal certification information and local transportation timetables. At the far end of the entry court is the elevator lobby and a 100-stall shared bike room with space-saver bike hangers and large locker and shower rooms. Thanks to the nearby Burke-Gilman Trail, many tenants are likely to use this bike room. Here, you'll also see pendant lights salvaged from the existing building. On a typical office floor in the building, notice the distinctive castellated beams. Our structural engineer estimates they save 20 to 30% in material weight. Additionally, they provide design flexibility, increase daylighting, and reduce MEP conflicts. The aesthetically pleasing pattern is an additional benefit. As part of the pedal certification, this building went through the extensive materials vetting process to remove toxic red list materials. The process of vetting materials requires close coordination between architect, consultants, GC, owner, and spec writer. While challenging, this process results in decreased embodied carbon, healthier indoor air quality, and local material sourcing. To meet our bold energy performance targets, Energy use is carefully balanced through the envelope treatment, facade elements, mechanical system, and lighting power density. The team gravitated toward electrochromic glass early on in the project, which is used on the cube portion of the building, levels 3 through 6. This product is essentially like transition lenses for the building. It uses sensors with an electric current to shade the glass. EC glass has 3 main benefits, including reduced peak cooling loads, reduced glare, and increased thermal comfort. Ultimately, the glass contributes to a 25% energy use savings over a code baseline building. And while it was chosen based on human comfort and energy savings, we also found that it meets our beauty standards as well. You can see the dramatic reflection of the adjacent Aurora Bridge on the facade from many angles. Let's move to the top floor of the building where we can visit the outdoor terrace. The tenant on the top floor will have access to the best view from the project. You'll also notice the underside of the canopy. At night, this canopy is dramatically lit, showcasing the warmth of cedar cladding. Let's return to the ground level to talk about the project's innovative stormwater management strategies. The client was deeply committed to water quality from the beginning of the project and sought to build on the work completed on the west side of Troll Avenue. At Watershed, water is being collected from downspouts off of the Aurora Bridge and through curb inlets on Troll Avenue that are directed into a series of biofiltration swales. The water's path is slowed as it is filtered while passing through the soil. The now clean water is collected into a dedicated storm drain with an outfall to Lake Union. Previously, the runoff from the Aurora Bridge ran straight into the lake without any treatment. Researchers found that the runoff was some of the most toxic runoff collected in the United States. Heavy metals, hydrocarbons, and tire dust all contribute to the toxicity of the water. Watershed represents the second phase of what has become a 3-phased approach to cleaning runoff from the overhead Aurora Bridge. The third phase, which is across North 34th Street, will clean 1.2 million gallons annually. These 3 phases will clean a total of nearly 2 million gallons of water annually, and plans for additional stormwater projects in the area are currently underway. The impact of this work is improved water quality in Lake Union, an important salmon spawning ground for 5 of the major salmon species of Puget Sound, including Chinook salmon, the primary diet of southern resident orca whales. The design of the site elements helps to highlight the water's path as it meanders through the landscape. Rusted steel walls and metal gabion baskets encasing basalt rubble form blockades holding the water back, allowing it to infiltrate the soil and slowing its travel. A collection of pollinator plants provide habitat, further supporting the 4 honeybee hives located on the roof of the building. The hives will produce up to 50 pounds of honey annually. The beehives contribute to the urban agriculture imperative of the Living Building Challenge. The landscape includes interactive art elements, further contributing to the beauty pedal. Weathering steel blade signs will include a textural relief that can be transferred to paper via artistic rubbing. While creating a living building is not easy, it can be done. Clear project goals must be identified early. The client team must be committed to going beyond the status quo, and the design team must work collaboratively. Additionally, programs like the Seattle Living Building Pilot Program can help provide incentives so that large commercial developments can be leaders in the green building movement.